Howdy, Jacob here. Today we're looking at Coca-Cola FEMSA, ticker symbol KOF. Don't get this confused with the Coca-Cola that you know of KO. This is also in the beverages industry, so they franchise, produce, market, and sell Coca-Cola trademarked beverages, and they operate mostly in Mexico, Guatemala, Nicaragua, Costa Rica, Panama, Colombia, Brazil, Argentina, Uruguay. So mostly in the Central America, South America region, and they were founded in 1979. $20.3 billion market cap, $21.9 billion enterprise value. In comparison to their market cap, 1.6 billion net debt is not an insane amount. 1.9 billion in 2012 up to roughly 3.6 in 2022. And I mean, if we look at a 5-year average, let's say a billion, so that's 3.5 years, their 5-year average free cash flow, and they have 2 billion cash and cash equivalents on hand. So the debt situation, we're not scared about. 3.45% dividend yield. Mainly, it looks like that's due to when I did the screener, yeah, the price has gone up a lot, which the dividend yield is based off of the price. And so it's under the 4% we're looking for, but 3.4% is still a hefty dividend. And pending on the business appreciation, you can more than manage 3% on a dividend yield. So let's what's this payout here? So 584, and we said about a million. So 50 to 60% payout ratio. I mean, I think that's pretty reasonable for a company like this. I think that their growth opportunities aren't going to be flourishing, waving in their face too much. Maybe a couple acquisitions here and there. I mean, they haven't bought debt at all, or they haven't bought stock. Sorry, they haven't bought back shares at all. Um, 2019 to 2020. I wonder if uh, maybe there's some weird going on with the way that the website I'm using takes the shares, but it looks like shares are pretty flat. So I'm going to assume 0% on the share side, and let's start making some assumptions here. So I think as for revenue, we had 11 billion, 12 billion in 2013, and they're pretty much there right now. Were there any devastations? Nothing other in 2018. Okay, interesting. So, I mean, I might think I'm almost inclined to say 1%. So let's say that the business itself organically maybe drops a couple low single digits a year, but inflation is going to make up for that negative growth by what I'm saying will be about 1% growth over the 1% growth a year over the next 7 years, or 1% of growth per year for the next 7 years. As for margins, um, let's assume 7% on the earnings side, 9% on the free cash flow side. PE, ROIC doesn't show any sort of dominance and need for excessive PE. I don't. I'm not entirely positive if they have any moats in these regions. Um, Maybe I'll do a 12 on the PE and price to free cash flow because um, maybe after 7 years they'll still have some growth ahead of them, but I don't think they deserve any premiums or anything. And again, we're saying maybe after 7 years, low single digits if it, with the combination of acquisitions and such. So I think I'm fine with that. 15 on the P. The terminal P and price free cash flow are very art. They're created from art. Like obviously, there's some science behind a no growth business for forever should have a 10 P if you expect 10% return, but um, There's just so many things that go into it. I think I'm fine with that for now. And as for the dividend, I think looks like they've increased it from $2.19 to $2.80. Maybe I'll assume 1% growth a year for the next 7 years. And yeah, the price is not looking. Looks like it's going to have to fall 82%. Is that right? Okay, maybe that's more right. So yeah, what just happened? I'm gonna have to look at how they are showing these shares and whether they're on like a United States basis or whether they're on a different country's basis. This appears more appropriate. So when I do a review of the company, I'll come back and share why the shares outstanding was looking wonky. But this should be right. So the company's price would have to fall 61% for us to get a 15% return, given all of these assumptions. I think it's a fairly consistent business. So for me, it's just something I'm going to wait on until it gets absolutely slaughtered, and then the price falls quite a bit because I just don't see too much growth here, and I don't think any of these assumptions are really too far off. So yeah, I hope everyone has a good rest of the day. Thank you.